everybody. In this week's video, if you are gearing up to buy a house here in the Des Moines Metro, then this video is for you, as we are going to dive into the exciting parts as well as also potentially the traps of what could help you within the home buying process. And you know me as well as anybody else, we don't really sugarcoat anything. So I've seen a lot of first-time home buyers in particular that stumble, they possibly lose time, money, and sadly, sometimes the sanity throughout their transaction. So today I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes that first-time home buyers make and how to avoid them. Let's just dig right into this straight from the beginning. And the number one mistake that I see a lot of first-time home buyers do is they do not have prep financing. What does that mean? That means they have not sat down, spoken, or done anything in regards to getting pre-approved for a very large purchase. Most likely the largest purchase they will ever make in their life is going to be in your housing. Now, what does this do for you as a buyer or a first-time buyer for sure, is you end up looking at properties and you're going to fall in love with the properties that have the solid surface tops, the granite, the quartz, the tile backsplashes, the stainless steel appliances, and then when we finally are ready to write that offer, we don't have financing behind us. So what do we do then? We stress, worry, we get frantic. We start looking for a lender. We find out that it's not in our budget. What is the repercussions of this? Sadly, sometimes it drives some buyers to the point of where they're no longer interested in looking because their budget does not fit the taste of what they want in a house. So this is by far the number one biggest pitfall to first-time home buyers for sure, is always looking for the house, which is the most fun out of the whole process before they figure out the financing. So in short, what is the easiest way to avoid this dilemma? Is let's sit down with a qualified lender and then sit down with me, your realtor, and we'll work backwards through the numbers. We'll go through the taxes, the insurance, if there's an HOA, maybe some maintenance that needs to be done to a property, that all fits within inside of the budget that you're looking for, so that way you can feel confident when you move forward with your next purchase. What is mistake number 2 that buyers make while searching for a home? Is they tend to ignore the hidden costs associated with buying a home. Now those costs can vary, but some of the main ones are going to be your closing costs, which are going to be between 2 and 4% typically. Depending on location, you can go a little bit higher than that. The actual home maintenance that takes place within a house. I have a rule of thumb I recommend, comment below, and I'm more than happy to share it with you. But it pertains to your major expenses, whether it's a roof, HVAC, water heater, maybe plumbing or electrical. I mean, primarily it's going to be the mechanical sides of the property as well as the roof, because those are must-haves when owning a property. And then don't forget that we don't want to drain your savings when it comes to your down payment, thus meaning we have to be within a budget so that you still have money for moving costs, startup costs for your utilities, everything of that nature. So I don't want anybody to look into a property that's going to make them house poor. And we've designed a spreadsheet to give you a better idea based upon the cost of the property. Mistake number 3, which I feel is very, very widely overlooked, especially as a first-time home buyer, and I say this because it comes back to the budget, and that's your inspection period. And a lot of people that are first-time home buyers don't have that extra money sitting aside for an overall home inspection. Maybe it's for a sewer scope, maybe it's radon, maybe it's structural, I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into play when I give you a recommendation on what inspections are the most important, but your opinion also matters. So any of those options could be a major downfall, and an inspection is going to start around $300 to $350, and depending on what you add on to that, your inspections could be upwards of $1,000 to inspect the house. Now this cost associated with, we'll say, home purchasing or home ownership, that is one cost that sadly cannot be negotiated back to you as the buyer. But what it does do is it gives you findings so that you can be more confident in moving forward with the purchase of your home And if we need to, we can go back to the negotiation table to get you to the level of confidence of what you need or want to allow you to move forward with your purchase. If you're finding this content beneficial or helpful to you, or it could be helpful to one of your friends, family members, or just somebody you love and trust, please like and subscribe, as it greatly helps me out to reach more people that could be in the same situation as you, looking for the knowledge and buying their next home. Mistake number 4 that greatly impacts your home search or purchase, sadly, is one that I'm not able to help you out with. And that's the emotions that run through you when looking at property. One thing I want most first-time home buyers to remember: it is not typically your forever home. With that being said, what we need to look for is a blend of the must-haves and the wants. It can't be I want A, B, and C, but we can only afford A and maybe B, because right now we're looking at a stepping stone. And don't let that discourage you, because statistically, every 7 to 8 years, you're going to change which stepping stone you're on. And that all changes with where you're at in life, whether it's job, kids, budget, location. Now, the main thing I'm not telling you to do here is sacrifice on one of your must-haves. And that must-have could be downright location for your family, location to a job, anything of that nature. It could be a school district. It could be wherever you deem to be important to you and within your life. So my biggest tip here is it's always nice to have what you want, but the must-haves are what's most important, and we can build upon that. Let's not include the deal breakers, because I understand that side as well. But the must-haves and the wants, if we can find a happy blend or mesh, I'm going to promise you within 5 to 7 years, we're going to talk again. And we're going to be taking that next step into your future home. Now, what is pitfall number 5? And that is not utilizing the maximum options that are going to be given to you as a first-time home buyer. Whether it's through financing, whether it's through gifts and parents and family or anything of that nature. It could also be due to credit, all kinds of things. But what I really want to break and boil this down to is let's start off with number 1 on the pre-approval side. And let's let the lenders check your credit. With that credit, that kind of dictates what we're looking for within a house, whether it's got to be a government-backed subsidy property or whether we have the opportunity to go conventional to give you a little bit more leeway within your buying power. Don't assume that you can finance the down payment entirely, but I'm going to tell you that I do have first-time home buyers with my partnered lenders that 99% of the time I can get you into a property for less than 1 month's rent. As a first-time home buyer, there's programs not only for down payment assistance, but there's also grants that are forgivable, thus meaning you get the money up front, you never have to pay it back. There's other options as second mortgages that are silent in the background that's offered through the state of Iowa as a whole. Let's not overlook that option. Not only does that give you free money up front, it's non-interest bearing, and it lowers your monthly payment so that maybe a little bit higher of a budget comes back in within tolerance because you got to buy down or have a down payment provided to you. And this is something that we want to go through early in the process. Hence, problem number 1. So, with that being said, I would love to hear more feedback from you guys. What do you feel when looking for a home? Whether you're seasoned or whether you're a first time, what is the biggest problem you see, or what is keeping you on the fence on whether you should be buying or continue renting? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you you're paying a mortgage. But is it your mortgage or is it your landlord's mortgage? So let's recap what this whole video was about. And hopefully the last 10 minutes has helped you with moving forward in a choice or a manner of educating you to make a better option for you and or your family with buying your first home. That's understanding and prepping your budget and knowing what you can afford before you ever dip your toe in the water of looking at property. This benefits you on so many levels that it is number one for a reason. Number two is the hidden costs associated with owning a home after buying or through the buying process, aka the inspections, the moving fees, the utility costs, the insurance, the taxes, all this fun stuff that we never think about. We only look at the price tag of the house. Number three, skipping the key aspects of negotiations, which I tailor back to inspections. That is a huge mistake, whether you're buying a resale or new construction. I highly recommend you always get a home inspection done. Number four is the emotional tie to the process. I know sometimes it's hard, especially when you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars and finding something that might just pull on your heartstring, whether it's the location, something that reminds you of somebody else in your family, or just something that you've always wanted. We have to keep the emotions dialed in so that you make the best decision for you. And number five is overlooking the potential of the credit and the potential of the down payment assistance programs and or grants. If you can avoid these most 5 common mistakes when becoming a first-time home buyer, not only are you going to feel strong, educated, confident, and comfortable within buying your first home, but you're also not going to be stumbling through the process. And as your realtor, I'm here to help you make the best, the smartest, the most prepared, and be ready throughout the entire process so that you don't have to feel the stress when buying your first home. So if you are already in the Des Moines, Iowa metro, or you're looking to move to the metro, take the next step for yourself, and that could be as simple as even reaching out and talking to me about what the pre-approval process looks like. I can hook you up with one of our partnered lenders and see what it really means for you and what budget we can realistically be looking for. So with all this being said, I look forward to hearing from you. If you'd like to reach out, no pressure chat, and let's talk about what you really want, what you can afford, and how we can make this work for you, then I'd love to hear from you. I want to thank you for watching. Please feel free to hit the like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and share it with someone else who might be out there house hunting for their first time as well. I look forward to seeing you in that next video.